Tavern, featuring Darklore.
Bruh.
Welcome to the Tavern Mash Bros podcast. Today with us we have our members, me, King Gorgon, aka Matt, and we have John, aka Juiciest Fruit PM, with us. Follow him on Twitch. And our guest here today is Eric Darklore. Don't forget to check him out on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, whatever he uses. We'll all have that linked.
Alright, why don't you say a few things about yourself, Eric?
Yeah. Well, let's start. How was your day? How was your day today so far? Your morning,
Pretty good, same as usual.
That's good to hear. Now, I've been told that you're a man of possibly infinite voices. Can you go over a few voices you can do?
Well, there is one that's absolutely splendid, and that is Frieza, the Emperor of the Universe, from the series of Dragon Ball. May I astound you all? And if you don't like it, then I'll simply just have to eliminate every last one of you.
That's awesome, dude. That's really awesome.
Now,
I like that.
Most people know you from Frieza, but I personally have a favorite voice that you do. Well, I have two favorite voices. I really like your Sasuke impression, and I really like your Brawly impression. Like, it's Vic Mignogna tier, at best. Well, at least.
No, it's Vic Mignogna. It's Vic Mignogna tier at worst, but it's like way better at at its best. It is far beyond Vic Mignogna. Like, I believe that you could literally take over Vic Mignogna's role as Broly. I feel like that could actually happen if they would, put some faith into you.
After all, I've never tried anything sexual with anyone, but I still think Johnny is in the wrong. I mean, people have him in the wrong. He's a very well-respected voice actor. There's no reason why they shouldn't let him voice Broly. Just because he voiced him? Just because Vic was accused? That's not right! I'll destroy them!
Yo, that is literally so awesome, man.
To pieces! He'll pay for crossing me!
That's awesome.
He'll face a power like no other! He'll be legendary!
So, I have a couple questions also lined up here. So, one of these is, how was life growing up?
It was
If you don't
really
mind.
good,
Huh?
Did a lot of things with my mom growing up because, my dad left me when I was 2 years old, but a lot of the times I didn't care because I still had her, and she went through so much trouble to take care of me. I mean, she even donated blood to keep us alive, and she has a scar in her arm to prove it.
That's
Wow.
actually crazy.
That's awesome.
I'd say they put blood, sweat, and tears into raising their kids. Well, she gave blood, so, yeah.
That's more than what I can say about my parents.
Don't be like that. It's supposed to be happy and zany, not. Just kidding.
But you know what my parents did do? They made it possible for me to have a podcast with the Eric Darklore, so that's all that matters.
Oh.
So, you played any good games recently?
Yeah, quite a number of them. It just seems like it's left and right. Because my best friend in real life, it's a little complicated of a story, so I'll try to trim the fat of the story, but he had money that...
Yummy.
Life doesn't always work out the way you'd want, and a good handful of years later, he succumbed to AIDS, and died.
Rest in peace.
At least you still have that game to remember him by. Do you have any more questions?
Yeah, and I like to think he'd be proud of me. I mean, sure, I don't really have a job yet at the moment, but for a time, I had my own apartment that just didn't last forever because we got kind of forcibly kicked out due to some stupid ruling on the complex's part. It's because they were converging or something, and they weren't going to be low income anymore. So
That's ridiculous. Living in California must be hard.
It definitely is. Everything here is really expensive.
Do you have any more questions, Matthew?
Well, I was gonna say, I've been drinking coffee a lot recently, and I got this new K-cup custom thing, and I bought some new coffee grounds. They're Don Francisco Hawaiian blend. It's really good. But Darklore, do you drink coffee, tea, anything really? Do you have a favorite type or brand? Anything
drink
like that?
coffee. Yeah, I don't really know about a particular type, just as long as it doesn't taste like I don't know.
Oh
like
yeah,
a
you
juice or anything.
just like the classic cup of Joe.
You're hearing any sounds in the background? My brother keeps opening and shutting the door.
We can't hear it. It doesn't pick up on the mic.
I'm gonna have to lock the door. He keeps opening and shutting it.
Alright.
Well, I was going to say that
Fine, because they're recording, but fine.
We can cut that out.
yeah.
Yeah, I even carefully, calmly told them, yeah.
Where were we? Oh, we're talking about coffee.
Yeah. So anyway, I was gonna say that this Hawaiian blend is really good. It's non-acidic. You don't need cream, sugar, nothing. It's just really good. You just drink it straight, brewed, delicious. I love it so much.
Or something like that before. It seems almost impossible. Well, unless it's usually those flavored coffees that, have all that artificial crap in there. Then you're basically just drinking sugar.
No, this is literally just coffee. I just drink it black. Just coffee.
You are a strong man for drinking black coffee. I don't even like coffee, so.
I don't know. I think it tastes really good, especially when you get a good blend and it's not cheap. It's just, it's really nice.
Well, since we're on the topic of beverages, what's everyone's favorite food?
That's a tough one, honestly. I'm not particularly picky. There's basically almost anything that I won't eat. That's the problem. I've never really been that picky. I don't know why.
Well, I remember you mentioned before something about you were making a white sauce and mixed with red sauce deal one time.
Well, that's the thing that my mom would do with spaghetti, and it's really delicious. I mean, people even do that with pizza, and pizza places usually always. Well, when we do eat pizza, she usually orders more of that. It's really good.
When you told me about that, I did try it, and I gotta say it is pretty effing good. I can't say the F word. I don't want to get YouTube to kill me.
Yeah, I gotta worry about Kappa. We're gonna bust a cap in something.
Oh man.
Alright. Well, we got
a favorite food though. I don't know. I don't know what my favorite food would be. I really like Mexican food. So I don't know. I guess I'd say tacos or something like a enchilada.
Oh, but your body's not gonna like it later.
I'm a simple man. I just like chicken, so.
Yes, chicken wings. I love chicken wings. That's probably my favorite food, actually. Chicken wings, bro.
I would say the same.
Boneless chicken wings. Yeah.
Good old chicken nuggets with buffalo sauce on them.
Have you ever tried buffalo wings, Eric?
Yeah, I'm not particularly fond of them when they're spicy, though. I have a low tolerance for spicy food, and I just mean that my mouth gets burned from that kind of stuff easily.
I got a low tolerance for spicy food too, but it's not in the same regards as you. If you know what I'm saying.
I knew it. Back to Taco Bell.
Yeah. I used to be able to handle it, but now that I'm growing in age, I will not be able to handle it so well.
Considering, we're on the discussion of, keeping it, okay for kids. If kids want to laugh at this, I actually knew this guy when I was in middle school, and he was apparently lactose intolerant, and he told me that he would purposely drink milk when he was at school just so he could fart on the way home on the bus.
Oh no, I would hate to ride on that bus. I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah, that would stink. Oh.
Do you have any other funny life stories like that? During school or something like that? Any funny moments?
There is one, I'll try to keep it as clean as possible, obviously. It is, of course, I'm sorry. I was using the bathroom once when I was in high school, and let's just say to keep it PG rated, I was, taking a dump, and this guy, I don't know what his reaction was, but he was in front of the stall, and he was like, "Damn, boy, what did you eat?" I don't know if it was because of the sound or he could smell me. I don't know.
Man, that kind of reminds me of the memes that you'd make with what is that? Image flip?
Really good. Yeah. If anyone likes to make their own memes or, who end up watching this, I would really suggest it because it's very easy to use and it's helped me out quite a few times. I haven't really used any other meme makers other than it.
It's become my
some really what?
It's become my #1 meme making source.
Yeah, me too. So thank you, Eric, for showing me and John and the others that, because Image Flip really is the top tier meme making website.
So there is a secret trick to make it so where the watermark isn't on your picture. Before you generate the meme, you just copy and paste it into the chat.
Yeah.
Though I would never do that because I have to support Image Flip.
Plus the watermark of imageflip.com is so small, it doesn't really bother me that much, because at least it's not someone's name written in cursive, and you don't feel like you're stealing someone's art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta support Image Flip.
Pictures of art, because I'm like, there's a watermark on there, but it's just Discord. But what if someone's like, hey, that's my art, you give that back?
I don't think it matters on Discord. I don't think anyone would get to
especially if it's more of a private channel or something.
Yeah.
I don't think it really matters as much either.
Yeah, I think it only really matters.
Maybe favorite animes. I mean, granted, as long as they're okay enough for kids to be watching, because you got to be careful, because then you get some angry parents like, why did you say this during the podcast? This is not appropriate for my children to watch.
Well, since you bring it up, is anyone watching any animes right now?
I actually finished up a Digimon Adventure Try, which was very nostalgic because I've seen the original series, and I kind of dragged out watching the last couple of movies because they're kind of long. Because you're watching a series, but each episode's an hour and a half because they're these little mini movies.
I see.
That's like a Netflix show.
Yeah. I just started Evangelion yesterday.
That one's...
You got any anime?
I've been watching Fire Force a lot.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I've also been keeping up with My Hero Academia and One Punch Man. Plus, does it really matter what we talk about on here when it comes to anime? Because most of the time...
Nah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about anime.
Running into that stuff anyway, so it's usually a fault of their own, not ours.
You can talk about whatever you want, but I think it's cursing or something. That's all it is.
Yeah, I think just within reason is how they would say that.
Yeah. Now that YouTube is being...
I've actually been thinking of possibly doing a video where the Digimon are shouting their attacks, because I would always love that when they did that in the anime. They would shout their attacks, calling their attacks a classic trope.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. What was Oh, yeah. Any anime recommendations?
That you haven't already seen is the problem, because a lot of anime is well known. There was this one that my friend introduced me to a while back. I forget what it's called exactly. it really depends on the translation, but it's like Animal Mask Rise Up or something. It's one of those typical isekai, or I forgot how to pronounce it. Like,
You said it right, isekai. Yeah.
yeah, kind of animes where he's a wrestler that has like an animal motif, like a theme, and apparently he has like a very like, let's just say creepy love for animals where it goes a bit far because he ends up in that typical world where everything's all medieval and stuff, and there's a lot of beast-like creatures, and let's just say he gets a little overly affectionate, and people make the mistake of calling him a beast slayer, and he just like pile drives them and does all these wrestling moves. It's great.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
I would say that it's probably an anime you'd probably associate more with furries, though, but I'm just assuming that because there are some beast creatures that look anthropomorphic, but it's really your call.
That reminds me of that show manga called Beastars. It's like all the people are animals. They're like wolves and deers and stuff, and it's pretty interesting to see them try to live together in a society where it's kind of like Zootopia, but like
Yeah, I was about to say that sounds like that. Yeah, I think I've heard of that one recently, but I never watched it. I
Yeah.
try to be wary of what I watch because I'm never sure what's going to show up in an anime. I have a bit of a limit.
Well, most animes
like-
have fan service, so it's kind of
like
hard.
Zootopia for
Fan
adults.
service, it's the blood and gore that can be a bit much, especially with stuff like Goblin Slayer. Oh my gosh.
Well,
They come a bit far on both ends, though, is the problem. Like,
Funimation usually censors that stuff, so if you're watching the dub, you don't have to worry about it. I'm waiting for My
not
Hero
usually.
to...
No, not always.
I'm waiting for My Hero to come out in English, season 4. I don't want to watch it in Japanese.
Well, you're
I don't
not
know how to
missing
tell you
anything.
this, but season 4 has been in English for some time.
What? I thought they just had season 3. Are you... Really?
I said 4. I don't know how you misheard me.
Oh, what the heck? Well, I guess I have something to watch then. I thought it was season 3 that was in English.
Don't know how that got missed. I guess that was lost in translation. Oh!
Maybe they dubbed it whenever I was watching season 3 and I just forgot about it for like a bunch of months.
Podcast is gonna see it obviously, but there's a little link right there.
Oh, it is.
Up with
Oh, it's up to episode 9 though. Okay.
decent though. I mean, it's not the whole season, but that's still pretty. And I've heard of this other anime that came out a while back called Dr. Stone. It's about this world that gets like
I see it everywhere.
basically back into primitive times because some mysterious force turns all the people and animals like to stone, and then they come back, so they kind of have to live as cavemen all over again. It's really interesting.
That's weird.
Yeah, I know.
I see it all over Twitter, but I never watched it. What was I gonna say? Alright. Let's change the topic to politics.
Oh no.
No
no.
politics?
Nah.
I don't even vote for one, and yeah, let's not drag Trump into this. Probably get taken down just for that.
It won't get. It would
Yeah.
probably get put on the front page if we talk bad about Trump.
Flip.
Yeah,
Trump.
it is.
That's all I'm saying.
That's all you gotta say. If you had one
But-
word to say about Trump, what would you say? Just one word.
Well, there's one thing they should say to him: "You're fired." Little
That-
celebrity apprentice reference.
That'd be hilarious if that happened.
Mr. President, you're fired.
So, about the anime and stuff. So, what do you think is the hardest voice for you to do?
It's very difficult to imitate the likes of Sean Schimmel, who's known very well for voicing Goku from Dragon Ball Z and onward. It's very difficult to keep his range consistent because the actor himself kind of goes from serious to like very laid back sounding, and I feel like I can't find a proper in between. It's Bardock though, that's completely different, but that's because they're not voiced by the same person. Because he's kind of sounds like just more agitated, like
Frieza, I'm gonna make you pay! This will change my fate and yours!
Wow.
Say goodbye!
That sounds
Get
really good.
it!
How many Dragon Ball characters
Yeah,
do
man.
you think you can do?
I screamed his Bardock before. I kind of scared myself. Jeez.
How
Rest
many?
in peace, headphone you.
How many
I've
Dragon
never-
Ball voices do you think you can do?
About 25 roles in a project that, let's just say, went south really fast. Can't really just list them all, but I can voice the entire Ginyu Force, the Red Magma, Chase, and the Blue Hurricane, Berta, and Boom, Gildo, and the leader of the Ginyu Force himself, Captain Ginyu, or Lord Frieza,
I like
because
that
the
one.
Ginyu Force rules.
So the Frieza saga is probably your favorite, I'd assume.
Not the only one.
Oh. But like, if you had to choose, would the Frieza saga be your like most
Well,
favorite?
there is another one that you could say is absolutely perfect. The Earth will be destroyed.
My man's just a Dragon Ball fan.
Yeah, he is.
I'm curious to hear if you've ever practiced any of the new Dragon Ball Super voices, like Topo or Jiren or Zamasu.
I don't know. I can't think of any lines with him because that's like the first thing I heard him say. I'm like, okay.
Well, I can think of a Trunks line that you can say. I can't think of a Trunks line you can say if you know how to do Trunks. Don't shoot, that man isn't black.
Well, that also makes another example. Voicing Goku is one thing. However, doing the other voice that Sean Schimmel's known for in many other roles. Now that's a completely different story. Project Zero Mortals begins now. You better be wary, podcast listeners. Because I can see all of you from up above the world.
You got any more questions, Matthew?
Yeah, I was just what do you think's your easiest voice? Would that be Frieza?
Probably a toss-up between Frieza and Broly. I don't even feel like I'm overexerting my throat when I'm voicing Broly. I sure don't know where Vic got that idea that he's messing up his vocal cords. I'm like, yeah, try and get on my level.
Well,
You
it's
are
because I'm
nothing.
sure
You are weak. I am invincible.
I'm sure it's because you're probably a naturally better voice actor than Vic is. I'd just say that. I mean, the amount of talent you have,
Tried
like, it's
I've
insane. You're really good.
voices from other animes, like I said, Digimon. Like if I had to like go rapid fire and like list their attacks based on evolution, like Digivolution, like Agumon, Pepper Breath, Nova Blast, DJ Blaster, Terra Force, Blue Blaster, Howling Wolf Blast, Wolf Claw, Poison Ivy, Needle Spray,
I have one question to ask you.
Harpoon Torpedo,
Okay.
Vulcan's Hammer, Moon Double, and a Fate.
Alright, Jake, whenever he does that, you gotta put a picture of every Digimon that says that.
Yeah, every Digimon.
Gamma, Time 4.
What were you gonna ask, Matt?
I was gonna say, can you do a live rendition of Kid Buu? Because that one's probably my favorite one of your impressions. I love the Kid Buu video.
That's Kid Buu. That is Kid Buu.
Yes, that is Kid Buu right there, yo.
It's like I'm
That
watching.
is awesome.
It's like I'm watching Buu get blown up by a spirit bomb as we speak.
That's really great.
This is what you've chosen for your final resting place. There's no way that a low class could defeat me, an elite warrior, the prince of all Saiyans. I don't care about you or this stupid Earth anymore. Now, Galagon!
Have we
So good, dude.
have you ever tried to do the Japanese voice of Frieza?
Special beam cannon!
Alright. We're just rotating through the other voices, I guess.
No, not you again! I'll get my revenge! I swear I will! And then the memes will stop!
That's Yamcha.
Oh, that's Yamcha. Yeah.
Stop. Oh man, that's too hilarious. Yeah, you get killed by a Cyberman, and then forever everyone thinks you're more worthless than a magic card. Hey, shut up!
Times am I going brought back from the dead? First I almost die, then I'm revived as a cyborg, then I'm cut in half, then I'm revived again. And then of course I'm killed by a giant Kamehameha wave, and then of course brought again back for a tournament. Who knows how long I'll stay alive this time, but I swear those Saiyans will pay! And once Neanderthal is under my control, I will destroy them both! And I will prove I am the most superior being in all the universe!
That's funny that Frieza like went out of his way.
Tremble before me.
He went out of his way to get the Dragon Balls just to make himself taller.
That's what I was just thinking. I was just thinking about that. Dude wanted to be 5'6".
Yeah.
Now you will feel the power of the evolved Tuffle race with the primitive power of the Saiyans. I will destroy you all. This entire world will be filled with nothing but Tuffles. Now die!
That's from the plan to eradicate all the Saiyans.
Forget that GT exists. No, we can't forget that GT exists.
No, that was
Well, I
Baby
mean, we can,
Vegeta.
but it technically does exist.
Yeah, but I forgot about
feel-
GT.
Making a joke.
I forgot about GT. Super Soul.
Yeah, I like GT. GT was pretty good.
GT's my favorite. I just forgot about it.
Under now, with the power of Super Saiyan 4, what will brought back to life? When King Piccolo wished for his youth to be restored, I was born.
Eric,
Yes.
what's your favorite Pokemon from the new Sword and Shield? Mine's probably Alcremie.
Eternus.
Hell yeah.
Oh, that one. That one that doesn't even look like a
That
Pokemon.
looks like a Draco Lich. That is freaking awesome.
Yeah, he looks kind of scary. Eternus, or whatever his name is.
And
that's such a
here's your giant
contrast.
hand. You're about to get this hand.
Yeah, I know, because his model wasn't pulled over from other games.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's a new model right there.
Yeah.
But that's such a
Oh, so like
contrast.
Washington and
from
Alabama.
Alcremie.
It's such a contrast from Alcremie. My favorite is probably Dragon Bolt, because he has little babies.
And honestly, I actually do rather like Surfetched. I never even hated Farfetch'd. I find it rather far-fetched that people would hate him.
Yeah, I also like Surfetched. I mean, he's pretty nice that he's a fighting type. You know, there aren't a lot of those.
He looks like an isekai character. I like him a lot.
Yeah, he does.
Oh.
But Alcremie is my favorite. I mean, it's just so cute. It's literally just icing and strawberries or blueberries, and that's just, it's awesome.
Yeah, I
And
bet
according to
Twitter.
game theory,
Hmm?
they eat people. I'm like, what?
They eat people.
I don't know. I just saw that as a thumbnail. I didn't watch all the video yet. I was just like, what?
Matt Pat, still out here gooning on people.
Welcome to game theory.
Oh, poor
Whoa,
Matt Pat.
what was
Really
Matt?
mad when I
Whoa, did
tried
Matt
to,
Pat just join the call?
Overwatch
What the
impression
hell?
once, but she thought I didn't do a good enough junk rat, and I was like, oh wow.
Do you have the ad reads ready, Matt?
No, I have to collect them real quick.
Alright, get the ad reads ready, and then let's talk about some other roles. One might say Darklore is better at voice acting. Are you familiar with Edward Elric and his voice, Eric?
Not quite.
Not quite.
Isn't that like from Full Metal Alchemist?
Yes, it is. I feel like you could do his voice very well.
As well, but I've never really seen it.
It's so much different from Brawly, but I feel like you could do it very well. It's another role that Vic Mignogna. I didn't mean cut that out.
Cut out.
Vic Mignogna. There we go.
It's like you're saying banana, and I'm like Broly. I'm like, I'm not a banana star.
I keep pronouncing his name wrong. So hard. It's not easy to pronounce like Eric.
I like.
We're gonna have to take down Vic. What else did he do?
Voice.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know any of the roles he did. What's your honest opinion about Johnny Young Bosch?
I think he's a really good voice actor. The first time I ever heard him, he was Sorcery of the Red Sand from Naruto Shippuden. I like just how creepy and like soft his voice was, because he just came off as like a deranged like psychopath talking the way he did. Like he was cool, calm, and composed, and just like terrifying because of that.
Yeah, my first experience with him was Ichigo from Bleach, but he's in a lot of things. He's a Yunar Kami Adachi from Persona 4, the Black Ranger.
I actually have some voice clips well, for the podcast that I usually keep on file that are usually voice files, because let's just say that because that voice project for a fan-made Dragon Ball game didn't work out, so I clung to my Frieza ones because I had never done as good as I did there voicing him, basically. I have one for each and every one of his forms, which are really condensed into small bits.
Alright, we'll have to link those in the video description.
Our level is 530,000. Have we been here before? Yes, I'm certain we have. You are nothing but a worm. Crawl back in the dirt where you belong. On second thoughts, let me help you. You know, I was going to let you live, honestly, but it's the moment you challenged me. You must really have a death wish. Please, allow me to grant it for you. This is impossible! No one defies me! Allow me to tell you a little secret.
Ooh, I'm trying to sound full of myself, but I get chills every time I hear that. I'm like, is that you?
This reminds me that I forgot to say at the start of the podcast, if you're familiar with my Twitch, that's actually Darklore here is the one who voiced over the sub alert whenever he says thank you for joining them.
Yeah, you could have chosen any force.
Hey Frieza, why do you sound like a brain-dead Santa Claus? You're saying ho 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 backwards.
What?
Yeah, you're like oh.
Yo, Vegeta's gooning. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any sponsors that wanted to sponsor us, so unfortunately, we can't do any ad reads this episode.
No ad reads?
Something.
No,
It's time to go even further.
Alright, well, we do have one ad we can read.
I'll show you hell. You have no chance. Allow me to send you to the next world screaming. Don't be scared. I'm only going to kill you slowly. Any last requests? Oh wait, I don't allow those. Impossible! You can't be this strong. You are an insect to me, and nothing else.
So, in case anyone wasn't paying attention, that is my second form, in all of its glory. However, things are going to get only worse for you viewers.
Alright, I got one last question for you, Eric.
Very good. Or very
He's gonna play all his
foolish.
voices.
Allow me to
Okay.
solve that riddle. You can't win. Just give up. I promise it will only hurt a lot. Take a good look around. This will be your grave very soon. Still alive. Pity. I was hoping you'd die much sooner. You are really starting to irritate me. I will show you how truly fearsome I am.
But continue.
Hey, well, I have one last question for you. What would you say is your biggest inspiration for being a voice actor?
Well, it's hard to really say. I honestly just always imitated voices when I saw them on TV growing up as a kid. That's kind of just what inspired it. I would imitate voices that I heard on TV.
Okay.
That's
So,
awesome, dude. I mean, that's how it is for a lot of voice actors, from what I've listened to and seen and heard. So
Do you
I
have
can't
any?
describe it. It's almost like I just get into character whenever I'm voicing someone. Like my voice is like a switch. It just changes. Like I actually think that I'm Frieza and I start just pouring emotion. Or if I'm someone savage like Kid Buu or Broly, I just start going off the deep end and just releasing a scream.
Frieza! Special beat cannon!
It's really nice.
Since you are the man of many voices, can you do a anime girl type of voice that a lot of people are doing nowadays for money?
Oh, that's weird and creepy. I'm not doing that.
No anime girl voice?
You hear that, anime
just
girl
weird.
voice people? You're weird. Stop doing
Yeah.
that for money.
That already sounds wrong.
That's right. Do you have any projects you'd like to announce? Anything special coming up?
Well, there is one, but it's still kind of in heavy development. It's basically a fan rendition of PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale 2, because they basically want to show, well, I guess Sony in general, that the first game was still really liked by a bunch of people, and we'd really like a sequel, because that would really be awesome. It's a little hard to explain it like that.
I see. Alright, well, I think that's probably where we should end the podcast. Before we head out, do you want to shout yourself out?
Well, I'm usually a little more humble than that. I don't usually do that. I really just do what I do to entertain people. But I think my humbleness can end up biting me in the rear end, because then I feel like I'm not getting enough opportunities because I'm not throwing my voice out there. But, that's just how I am. I don't like to ever seem like I'm trying to show anyone up or try to brag, because that's not really a way to live.
Alright, well, since you won't do it, follow Darklore at Impish Imitator on Twitter, or on YouTube, which is just Darklore. There should be no one else named Darklore on YouTube, so.
I hope not.
All right, well, thank you.
The darkness will swallow them up while they still scream. Beware, viewers, the darkness is coming, and the shadows are ever hungry.
Alright, well, with that,
Alright.
that'll wrap up episode 1. Next
Yep,
episode,
there you
we'll
go.
have on Scooter Romano. So,
Thank you, everyone, for
Ooh.
watching. And Scooter Romano,
he's a little, well, he's not famous,
he's
but
famous in Lewis County and Ohio. So
Lucasville, Ohio, yeah.
yeah, he's a little bit of a local celebrity around there.
Not as big as you, but
Yeah,
he's
Well
podcast
known.
worthy.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I'd be more well known if projects I did ended up working out. That's part of the problem. Someone's always got to start something, abuse their power as a moderator, or find something wrong with me, or go, hey, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have my friend in real life voice this character instead of you, then just remove me from the Discord. I'm like, wow. The problem is I end up with a lot of people that are considered technically minors, so I guess they don't know what they're doing, or they're just trying to disrespect their elders. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know either, but anyway, thank you for the podcast and everything. So
You are most welcome.
have a good day, everyone. Goodbye.